What we're going to do is take the rag off, which comes independent from the roof lining, which you can see has had and has seen a lot better days. The reason for the change of the roof is this slight split here. I mean, a good roof repairer probably would have repaired it, but the rear glass is also shot, so we want plastic is also shot, so we want to change that. Furthermore, we're getting a little bit of leak through here, and we're going to explain later in the video, I hope, why that leak is happening. We don't know why at this moment, but I think we might find out why. So what we've done, we've started by just taking the rear bench out, emptying the boot, emptying the car of all the stuff and junk in the back. You can see this plasticky rubbery membrane here. This has all come off from the inside of the lining of in here. Now it only goes a short portion and it's not entirely covered, but when it starts to fray away and fall away, it really does crumble everywhere. Also, these plastic paddles here, these are purchasable separately. You can get repair kits on eBay or from BMW. You will be absolutely shocked that this piece of plastic, plus a string, plus 6 of these ringlets, cost £147. So you may want to find another solution to that. But if you're want everything original, then obviously you'll have to purchase those. So all we've done so far is emptied the boot. We've cleared a little bit of the lining from the inside of the boot on the left hand side there, so we've got access to the motor at the end of the job when we need it. We've cleared out the back seat, and we started the job by pulling what I call the emergency parachute cord. By pulling that, it releases the slack off of those 2 cables, which allows you to operate the roof entirely manually, which means you can pull up and down, but you must move the roof in the same motion as it would if the motor was attached. So the horseshoe coming up, the back portion folding in, vice versa. When the back portion comes up, the horseshoe needs to come down before you move through, because it all works on cords and cables, and obviously if you've got tension on a cable one way, it won't allow it to move the other. So we've started by pulling the parachute cord, raising the roof, and all we're going to do now is remove this front panel so that we can get to the headlining and a series of screws across the top there. Next videos will follow. Here, hope you can see, I can't see if you can see, but there's a screw in there. Once you remove that screw, this portion drops forward and allows access onto the inside. Now it's not, I don't think, essential, but I'm going to anyway. Look at that lovely fungus. Is remove these screws which attach the headline into that front plastic panel. I'm going to guesstimate there are six of those. So when you take those 6 screws out from the rear, from the inside of here, I'm going to just step back so you get a better view. So from the inside of that lovely fungal setup, you can just see 1 screw there, 1 screw there from the inside. So you take the first one off the front, drop that down and take those ones off the inside. That will remove this panel, and it should help hang the headlining as well. Fit just under here, you'll remove those 2 screws. Take note of the orientation because it's not flat. It has a slight angle to it, and obviously the other side will be the equivalent. And then that 3rd screw there, and then we're moving along the top on all these screws across here. And we will have a look in a sec. So now we've taken out all these screws, as you can see here. The rubber seal will not be part of it. We will be removing that, but this is going to be part of the roof by the looks of it. Just taking out that plate at the end. Okay, so what we've done here, we've just separated this rubber seal from this metal plate at the back, and we'll be removing this metal plate and leaving the rubber seal to hang down for now. Don't want to cause too much stretch or pull on the rubber seal because that won't be part of the roof. Once you've removed your metal bracket, probably best to put it down in the right orientation to go back. But so you can see from end to end. Looking from the outside of the vehicle, what we're doing is removing now the roof from here. We've taken it off from here, pulled it back, and it's joined in here with some fancy glue or double-sided tape. There is a seal on the inside of here. I've just thrown it on the floor there, a short one there, and you'll see there's also one here. So where the motor is, just behind, it's also visible from the other side. You just want to get onto that seal as best as possible and just carefully remove it and put it down on the side that it goes. Then when you come on the outside, you'll be able to remove this with a little bit of force from the glue that it's been attached to. So we'll come back on the next step. So now we've taken back the panel that we spoke of in the last one. and the roof is now becoming separate from the lining. There is a sort of bit of some sort of glue or tape that's stuck here that we've just peeled that back from. Now what we're interested in is down the pillar here, down the roof here, there's this here, it looks like a rivet, but it's actually an Allen key, which is really handy because if it's a rivet, you've got to drill it out. The trouble is, this bar will be right in your way. So you just want to, similar to your boot struts, bonnet struts, lift the little clip off the side here and just lever that off the ball joint. That will come out your way, which will allow you to get in. We've taken off this ball joint, which we mentioned in the last video, which gave us access to take off the last remaining strap through there, which was bolted into that hole there. So we've taken that off and out the way. Just want you to pay attention to a couple of things here. We've got a cable in place here. Now this cable is not one of those that you're going to cut because it won't come with your roof. The only way to get it out, so what I've done is I've levered with a screwdriver this part away, and you're going to have to get in from the back here and just lever that clasp open. I'm hoping it's going to focus in. And when you lever this part away, it will allow you to untangle your cable. Your cable actually runs all the way through the roof, all the way back down to the motoring. So what you need to do is you're going to need to feed this new cable, or sorry, this cable through your new roof. But we're going to leave this attached for now because it gives us something to hold on to. But we can actually see we're now pretty much halfway there. The next part of this equation, bearing with me, I'm new to this, some of you will be, is to remove this rubber seal. You can actually drill the rivets with it in place, but the heat and the distortion and the drill bits chafing across here is not a good idea. So I've just removed the rubber seal down to as far as I can. I can feel tension there. It may well be it just needs to be pulled, but because I don't know, I'm going to start drilling away these rivets to remove this metal strip down here. I think it's metal, yep. Metal strip down here that will allow the roof to come off here. And you'll just see in this bottom corner here, the roof is actually wrapped around something solid. I'm guessing this is a pocket. So you'll have to pull this down and over, and it's stretched over this frame here. But we'll get there on the next video. Right, so basically after all these are drilled out, just pry very lightly behind it and it will pop out over your rivets. And you'll be able to remove this section, but you won't be able to remove this rubber seal. Now this is original, so I wasn't lucky to have somebody who screwed it in afterwards. And you actually have to work through that gap in the rubber seal to drill 2 rivets very carefully, not to chew up your rubber. And then the rubber seal will come out with a little metal plate that's in there, which is what bolts to the back and those 2 lower rivets. So in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets, and then you should be able to lift this plastic portion that comes with your roof off. Now, this is the bit I was talking about. You'll see that this bit won't come off. It is no good forcing it because there is a little pocket here on the back side, which I guessed where that sits in. So you need to pull that over, and if you make sure that your roof's folded back to take some slack off of the material, it will give you a bit more material to pull it off. If your roof's folded down, you'll be here hours trying to take this off. So that's now removed, and we have done almost, not quite, nowhere near quite, but we're almost one side clear. Now we've got one strap here that's holding on to what looks like an Allen key, rusty as stuff, and we will take that off. That's definitely part of the roof. Down here, there is some more tension. We'll come to that when we worry about it. We're now going to go to the other side and do exactly the same as what we've done here, and we should find the roof is beginning to slacken off really well. Yeah. So after we've loosened these 2 screws for the straps here, the other side was rotten on, had to be drilled out. So we'll be putting a new screw in. This side's still all right. What we've done is a series of screws around the bit that meets the horseshoe that you need to remove, and a rubber seal that you can see hanging there. So you can remove the rubber seal and then take the screws out. If you find the rubber seal is pinched in between here, don't force it, just take your screws out first. Notice on the last one at the bottom, you've got a little bit of a tab. I'm not too sure what that's for. Maybe it's just because that's the most load-bearing area, but make sure you put that tab on in the same direction. Okay, so after we have removed that plastic strip and rubber seal, we've just lifted this portion over this edge, and it's got some sort of stick going on. We've also got a knackered rear glass. Now what we find is this part of the roof it looks like your lining, but it's not, because you can see it's attached to the glass. So I don't believe it is your lining. I believe it's actually part of your roof, which we'll see on the new one when we get it. But reason I'm here right now is because there's still a couple of straps held on. You'll see just on the inside here. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can make out where it is. Come back in, just on the inside here. You'll see that the tab is held on by one more Allen key. That needs to be removed on both sides. And then you'll see up here, now this is quite an entangulation of stuff going on. I'm still trying to work out which one of this one or this one has to come off. But we're going to start with that, and then we'll have a little look at what's coming off next. So the next stage now, we've drilled out those. They need to obviously be completely removed, which we'll do shortly. But it was enough to get the strap off. And just under here, you've got two Phillips screws that seem to hold the roof lining and the roof portion, which does look like lining, but it's separate, it's part of the roof, with this weather strip here, as my colleagues found. So we're going to now remove these two screws. So now we've removed the screws from the inside of the swing bar here. If you just raise it with me, Bruce. Yeah, we've just removed all of these straps, fed the straps through here, removed this last one from the underside here like the other side. My colleague and I are just going to fold the roof lining back over to reveal this bar here. Now on here, this will be glued down this tab. Raise the tab and it will reveal two more lovely Phillips head screws. They are different colours, so we're going to put them in the same place. Essentially that's what happens. That holds that underside strap down, which goes around there, and is bolted all together like that. So when you take that out, it comes out like that. So just to confirm, as that strap comes across now as we come towards the front, this is the one from the end. It seems to have two screws, then the strap doubles up again and connects to here. Where that screw went in up here, it's held on with that metal eyelet there by a small screw, which I'm going to just leave there. And you'll see it's a special screw that's got like a collar on it, so we'll pop that inside here. Screws from under here, you'll be able to, this is glued on, you'll be able to remove this from the bar, and that will be your last thing. All we've done is just come and place the roof over the back and front of the vehicle, and we're just going to just check that everything appears as it should do. Now, lovely. So the new roof has actually got one strap here to hold the loom, as opposed to the 3 or 4 on the other roof, which I may try and take a snap of for you later to compare. But essentially, this was the loom I was talking about that wraps around there. So I'm quite glad I cut the old ones, because I would have ended up taking all this loomage out of here for no reason. So we're all good to go with this one. The roof appears to be absolutely the right size. So what we're going to do is we're going to now fit it in the exact same way that we took it off, in reverse order. I'm not going to say if this is the correct order or not, but what we've done is just push through our cables. We're not fitting them on, we're just leaving them through here because there's a bit more to do underneath yet. But that is the first stage. Once we've got them both on, then what we're going to do is together fold the roof back over the top here so that we can get access, being very careful with our plastic, nice new screen. And now we've got access to the area at the back, the horseshoe, etc. And we're going to lift this area up, and we're going to start to have a look at putting our flap down and attaching it to all the necessary areas. Your likes and subscribes go a long way to helping me improve my channel. It also encouraged me to make more of these videos. So please take a moment to like and subscribe if you don't mind.